What's up, everyone? Vintage Cube is back online, so I'm here for my first draft. I'm actually pretty late into this Vintage Cube. I think it's been out for like 2 weeks, and this is like my fourth actual time running through this iteration of the cube, but not too much has changed. They did add some new archetypes and cards, and the changes look like overall to be good. I'm happy with them. So, yeah, I feel comfortable to make a video now. I wonder if the Spirit Sisters call is going to be playable at all. This pack, I think, is like pretty easy. Just take like Glen Elendra Archmage or Fractured Identity, and probably Fractured Identity is a little bit better. So I'll just take that. It's 2 colors, but it's very easy to splash. And yeah, so far in the cube, I've had some success with blue control decks. It's always a good archetype. That's probably what I'm looking to go into when I start with Fractured Identity. So I could take Force of Negation or Elite Spellbinder. Ashiok is okay, but I would rather not take a second splash card right away. I would rather stay taking blue or maybe a white card. So Izzet Signet's also okay. This is kind of a tough pick, but I like Force of Negation a lot. Maybe I'll table the Spellbinder. So there's a few good blue cards here. I don't like taking Cryptic Command super early because it is quite hard to cast. Suspicious Stowaway is fine. It can be easy to flip. Underground Sea would be good. We're definitely looking to be white though, obviously, and Teferi is also okay. It's a little bit slow and somewhat replaceable, but all these cards definitely go in the archetype. Teferi actually fills a pretty similar slot to Fractured Identity. It's like a 5-drop that can remove almost anything and then give you some value after that point. But I think it's enough better than Stowaway that I'm going to take it. And if the Cryptic Command tables, then that'll be nice, but I don't want to take it 4th pick. Okay, Narset, 4th pick, that's a really great sign. Blue is usually not this open in Vintage Cube. So that's going to be an easy pick. I don't need Library of Alexandria in this deck. The card has gotten a little bit too slow in recent years, and usually the blue-white deck, it just has no problem getting as many cards as it needs. So now I'm going to be looking for the draw 7s. Wow, okay, and we get Echo of Aeons, which combos with Lion's Eye Diamond and other discard effects. I might have to just take it because I have the Narset combo. Oh, they added in the Wandering Emperor. Oh, that's a cool card for this deck, actually, just because it has Flash. I actually think this card will be quite playable. So yeah, I have some more choices here. Mana Tithe would be okay. Portent is fine, probably one of the weaker cantrips. I am in blue-white, so I won't have as many discard outlets as a blue-black deck to make this Echo of Aeons work. So that might be just a little bit too combo heavy. Wow, I don't know what to take here. I'm going to take the new Planeswalker and see what happens. I have like this, I have 3 Planeswalkers now, so if I get balance, it's going to be really good. So I have that synergy going. And yeah, my archetype is wide open, so that's exciting. Mentor would be fine in this deck, but I don't think we need a win condition. We have plenty of win conditions already. Repeal is also fine in the deck. I think I'll just take Snapcaster Mage. It has a lot of upside. It's not very good at the moment. It is good with Fractured Identity, but I am looking for some early plays, like some cheap counters and like Swords to Plowshares. Okay, I'm gonna move this Narset over here so it can fit into the curve. So yeah, I'm looking for balance, I'm looking for dual lands, fast mana, and power 9, obviously taking that over everything. This is another new card, Dockside Extortionist. Pretty cool one. Not sure how playable it is. Maybe it's good in like blue-red in like the control matchups. So I can take Soulfire Grandmaster. I could take the red-white land and possibly play 3 colors. I don't hate that. That's a good option if I don't get access to stuff like Swords to Plowshares and I have to like take Lightning Bolt and stuff like that. So especially since I have Snapcaster. I'm going to just speculate on this. The Soulfire Grandmaster is more of a sideboard card against red decks. It's not like super high priority. So Chrome Mox would be okay in this deck. It goes pretty well with Teferi and Narset. It goes well with the draw 7s, which I'm going to try to get draw 7s to go with Narset. And then if I were to not take that, I would take Temple Garden, and then maybe I could splash a green card, but let's just take the Mox. Okay, here's the pack we opened. Here's another 2-drop with Lifelink, pretty similar to Soulfire Grandmaster. Now, Spirit Sister's Call. Okay, it works with Planeswalkers, so that's interesting. I'm guessing it's just like too slow and grindy. It kind of reminds me of Recurring Nightmare, which is like too slow to play these days. So yeah, I'll just take this sideboard card. And I don't think I'm going to wheel very much. Maybe I could wheel Repeal or Cryptic Command coming up. But yeah, we really have a lot of our top end covered already. Just need some things to go with Snapcaster Mage and some fast mana, obviously. Ashiok came around, so I guess blue-black is somewhat open. And yeah, I don't even like taking that, actually. Avacyn is totally fine. Now I have 2 flash threats. That's going to be really good if I'm able to get some counterspells. There are plenty of matchups where I like Avacyn. Okay, this is the pack with the Cryptic Command in it. So someone is trying to be heavy blue. And yeah, the blue did dry up after I took the Narset in this pack. But there's really nothing else to take here. I'll take the Stowaway. My deck is pretty good at flipping it. I can pass with a few instants that I have. So this card's really good in the control matchups. It's just a 2-drop that actually matters, that actually needs to get answered, which are kind of rare. I can't really use any of these. I'll take Avalanche Riders, maybe could splash it. Land Destruction is really good in certain matchups. Probably won't play it. It looks like someone might be in like the 5-color deck, like the Omnath Niv Mizzet, just because I have not seen any fetches or duels. So I'm going to probably try to avoid playing red, probably try to stick to 2 colors. Okay, and we did table the Echo of Aeons. Also the Mana Tithe, which would be totally fine here. But yeah, I can't resist taking this Echo of Aeons. It's a fun combo. I'm guessing it's probably not that great, like unless I get some combos. Okay, I guess Reanimator is fairly open as well. But we're pretty far away from Reanimator, so Seagate Stormcaller. You know, if I pick up Time Walk, this will be good. Yeah, Echo of Aeons, it's probably will be fairly weak in this deck if I don't pick up anything else to go with it. Just because it's a slow combo with Narset. Like, it's kind of rare to have a Narset that survives and then gets 6 mana to cast Echo of Aeons in a deck like this, like where I'm not ramping. So we'll see how that goes. So here's the Lion's Eye Diamond, which is really good with Echo of Aeons. There's also Mana Vault, which is very good with Teferi. It's also kind of good with Echo of Aeons because it lets you just cast the front side of it. And then there's Spell Pierce, which I would definitely play. It is solid with Snapcaster Mage, and I'm definitely looking for some Snapcaster targets. So I think Mana Vault is the safe pick. It's not amazing in the deck at the moment, but if I get some more 5-drops or 6-drops, it could be good. Seachrome Coast would be solid here. And there's not much else for our deck. If we were in blue-black, there would be some good options, but I'm not really looking to switch colors. I'm happy enough to get a land. So now we can take Shelldock, which is fine. And I definitely like Shelldock more than Sower. So we'll take it. Here is a blue fetch land, which would definitely be fine. Lion Sash. I feel like this is a pretty decent addition to the cube. It gives you the Scavenging Ooze ability, but in white, and I think that ability is way better in white. Oh wow, Scavenging Ooze is right here. Yeah, I mean, I think white just wants to play mid-range, like almost always in the cube, whereas green really does not want to play mid-range. It wants to like go huge. So Scavenging Ooze is like kind of without a home in the Vintage Cube. But yeah, I think Lion's Sash fits right into this deck. So this is kind of a tough pick. There's also Shark Typhoon. I'm just going to try the Sash out. Now here's a white fetch, possibly not as good as the blue fetch, but I think I will take it anyways. I don't care for these white creatures too much. There's the Plateau, which I can fetch now. Here's another new card, Restoration of Ijongo. Iganjo, that's probably how you pronounce it. Not sure how playable this card is, but I am willing to try it out. I don't think I want to splash red. I haven't picked up any red cards yet, and so the draft started off pretty great, I would say, and it has not gone as well since then. I really need to pick up early interaction, or this deck is just not going to be great. We're going to lose to some fast starts. I don't really think I can use any of these cards, but I'll take Elesh Norn. It's usually a bit too expensive to play in this style of deck, but it's good with Mana Vault, and I can sideboard it in against something like Mono Green. It will be like playable, I suppose. Stoneforge Mystic, definitely like this card a lot better as a threat in these style decks. So I'm happy to find that. And it can get Lion Sash? Yeah, it's an equipment, right? Okay, I like that. We can try to pick up Batterskull, or maybe a Jite or something. Still hoping to get some counter spells to combo with our flash cards and our Stoneforge. But yeah, blue has really not been coming since that first half of the first pack. Trying to decide if I'll play Lion's Eye Diamond if it wheels. Maybe if I find some discard outlets like Jace Vryn's Prodigy, it would be nice to like discard the half of the combo you don't need, or obviously just discarding Echo of Aeons is good on its own. So yeah, this might be more of a blue-black sort of thing to go for. This may have been the pack that had the Lion's Eye Diamond, so yeah, we might not be getting it. And yeah, it looks like black is open a bit more than white. I would really like to have some cards like Duress in this deck, but I think I'm just too far away from casting them. I'll take Baneslayer, and it's going to be good in the creature matchups. It's a great creature to cast off of Mana Vault, but I usually will not main deck a card like this. Our deck is looking okay for some of the fair matchups, or maybe some of the matchups where Fractured Identity is great, like in Reanimator or something. But yeah, we're going to struggle against the combo decks, probably struggle against control decks. We don't have counter spells or discard battle them with. We kind of just have some like fair planeswalkers and creatures. So now I'll take Watery Grave. It's possible I can find a way to play it. Lurrus, I don't think that's going to be great. Yeah, blue-black was really the place to be, but we did not go into that lane. You usually also don't want to splash like discard spells just because they really need to be cast on like the first 2 turns of the game, so they don't make great splash candidates. But maybe I can splash a removal spell. I am pretty desperate. I do not have a single cheap removal spell. Night's Whisper is fine. Could splash that. I like it more than Imperial Seal. And there's the discard spell I was talking about. Yeah, and I'm not really in a position to like switch to black. I would have to take out all of my white to make black my main color. That's like maybe more likely than playing red. Like maybe I'll... It's a Lich. That seems like okay. This Commando though is also fine. It like attacks planeswalkers, it surprises them with flash, and it destroys artifacts. Like I think this card is very well suited for Vintage Cube. But yeah, I mean I can go into white black, but I don't love that idea. I could splash blue. I could just splash Teferi and Fractured Identity, take out all the rest of the blue. Take out Snapcaster, Stowaway, Narset, Echo. Yeah, Reanimator's open. That's a possibility, but we'll see how this pack goes. There are some really strong blue cards we can open, or we can get past in the first few picks, and then we'll just kind of be forced into playing blue. Our mana's probably not good enough to just play full 3 colors. Maybe it would be. We have the Chrome Mox that kind of helps because you can exile a card from your hand if you can't cast it. Yeah, I also like having access to the black cards in the sideboard. Maybe if I play against a combo deck, I could side into it. So we get an off-color Mox, which is great. I mean, we have plenty of colorless mana here. Mana Drain would be solid. This is not the best Mana Drain deck, but Mana Drain is just a great card, and it's great with Snapcaster Mage. I wonder if it's better than Mox Ruby. It gives colorless mana just like Mox Ruby. And then there's probably not anything else worth looking at in this pack. Yeah, there's definitely not. Maybe I can table the Karn. That'll be good with Mana Drain. This is a very interesting pick. It's probably just wrong to take the Mana Drain. I have some cards that are good with the Mox. Yeah, I think you just can't. I'm not sure if I've ever passed a Mox for something that's not Power 9. I'm not sure if it would ever be correct. So here's Mystic Confluence, which is great with Mox. It's not great with Snapcaster, but it might just have to be what we take anyways. There's also a Wrath of God, but I think I would rather take the counterspell first. Okay, so we'll do that. Probably not playing Echo of Aeons at this point. Hullbreaker Horror, my favorite card in Supreme Draft. I think it's more of a combo card in the actual Vintage Cube. You don't just like play it in every blue deck. So Toxic Deluge would be a good black splash. Because I do not have a Wrath of God effect, I'm not sure if the Wrath will table. Condemn. This card usually tables, and it's just like, it's such a weak card. It's only good against aggro. A lot of the creatures in this format don't attack you, or once they attack you, they already get value or something. Condemn is really a sideboard card. Okay, here is a cheap counter, Miscalc. Then the other options are Resto, and we have targets for Trinket Mage, so it's not terrible in the deck, but I don't love that card. Resto, this is not a great Resto deck. Yeah, this is an easy Miscalc. So we've picked up 2 good blue cards, and now I think we don't need to think about this playing black thing anymore. We can just splash the Toxic Deluge. Hopefully we get enough playables. Sorry, enough fixing to do that. So Verdant Catacombs would be okay. Colonnade would, either of these 2 lands would be welcome. Colonnade would be better. But yeah, we'll take the 2 mana counter again. So now our Snapcaster just got way better. Our early game just got way better. That's going to be really important to allow us to survive. We have a pretty weak late game with this deck. We have a good amount of counters now. Good amount of creature interaction with Toxic Deluge, Fractured Identity, Teferi. But yeah, our win conditions are quite slow. So that could be a reason to bring in the Echo of Aeons. Just a super powerful combo that pretty much wins the game. And it does work with Chrome Mox, which I already mentioned. So yeah, I think we might have to play that actually. And now Force of Will, another card that combos with Echo of Aeons. Or we could take one of these expensive cards, Consecrated Sphinx, Scarab God. Both would be okay. I'll just take the Force of Will. We could use some more card draw, I'll say. This is actually kind of close. Sphinx is really good with Mana Vaults. I think we need the win condition, actually. Like, we already have Force of Negation. Yeah, we just have too many counters. I'll take the Sphinx. Okay, now we have Dak, and we have some red sources to cast it. And then the other option is just another fair card, which is Elspeth, which is another good Mana Vault play, and it's just really good in the fair matchups. I have 2 free red sources. I also have the Dak plus Narset combo. This is a pretty close one, but I'll just take the Dak. Super fun to play this card on turn 2 with Mox Ruby. Super fun for me, not the opponent. So maybe we don't play the Toxic Deluge. Well, maybe we still play it. Okay, Dak also works with Echo of Aeons. Polluted Delta, which is a blue-black land. It's not a blue-white land. And then Treachery would be fine, but Swords to Plowshares is better. And think Swords to Plowshares is just too good. Really happy to see that with like the last possible pick where we could get it, I think. It's great with Snapcaster. Okay, we have Suspicious Stowaway. That's another discard outlet for Echo of Aeons. I think I was forgetting that earlier. So I guess we'll run it. The mana is pretty sketchy in this deck. I don't think any of these cards are playable. Okay, there's the Wrath of God. And Jin Gitaxis, one of the new cards. I guess it's a combo card. I'm not sure if any deck will be able to use it, but yeah, I'll just take Wrath of God, and now I can take out Toxic Deluge, even though Deluge is like quite a bit better than Wrath of God. I'm gonna clean my mana up a tiny bit, and do I even need to play the Windswept Heath? This deck doesn't, okay, it combos with Lion Sash, so I suppose that's a reason to play it. Hullbreaker Horror came back. Could play it in the blue mirror match, just it can't be countered, so that is pretty powerful in the counterspell matchups. Those matchups usually go pretty long with players like passing back and forth and making land drops, so you can cast 7 drops. It's not big. It's not too much of a problem. This third pack went really well. Now I'm happy with how the deck looks now. Picked up some creature control cards. Yeah, this is really nice. Vanishing Light, maybe that goes in the sideboard. Maybe not. I think this is a reasonable amount of playables. If I count Mox Ruby as a land, this is 23 cards. These 2 are mana sources. So we're actually pretty heavy on mana in this deck. But I don't have anything great to bring in. Like, it's kind of the question, do you want to be more reactive or more proactive? You want to play the Banishing Light, the reactive card, or I can just play another threat. I don't have a great card to put in for Banishing Light, to be honest. It would be... I feel like our early curve is pretty solid. I don't want to bring in this Intrepid Adversary. So I feel like if I bring in a card, it would be one of these 3 at the top right. Stoneforge. We also did not get another equipment for the Stoneforge, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I think we'll still run it. I probably should have been looking harder for equipment. I kind of forgot about that. This is a fairly tough pick. Not sure what to put in, but I'm just gonna go with the Hullbreaker Horror. I think it's good enough. Goes with Mana Vault. I think probably in the dark it's better than Elesh Norn or Baneslayer Angel, but yeah, we'll have a lot more information after sideboarding. I have 2 red sources for the DAC. Might be a little risky to play this Mountain, but DAC is really good if you get it down early, so I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, we're on the play for round 1. We're gonna keep... We've got the Suspicious Stowaway, Echo of Aeons combo. Mostly just Force of Negation for interaction at this point, but hopefully the Stowaway can draw us into some cards that we need. Okay, looks like we're playing against mono white aggro, most likely. So we can probably flip the Stowaway next turn. Let's see what happens here. Yep, that's fine. Okay, look, they have a pretty slow start, so I like that. Definitely a chance that they'll be able to flip the Stowaway back on their turn, just because these white decks usually have pretty low curves. But we just have so many instants. Let's see what happens on our draw here. Okay, we're gonna need that island. Yeah, I want to just get rid of the Echo of Aeons, pretty obvious. And yeah, I am very happy to hold up 2 of my counters here. And we'll flip the Seafaring Werewolf. Probably going to counter anything that costs like 2 or 3 mana here. Okay, Lion Sash. And I cannot Force of Negation, because that is a creature. But yeah, we'll just remand. So it looks like the Echo of Aeons is going to be going away at some point. But that's okay. Hopefully the opponent does not have a 1-drop here. Okay, we get to have a turn with our werewolf. And now we have a Sash of our own. So I can Chrome Mox the Cathar Commando and then play out my Lion Sash. And then I can still hold up my counter spells. That will flip my werewolf, though, if I do that. Not play to spell. Yeah, the question is my opponent going to flip my werewolf? Cathar Commando's looking fairly weak here. So I am just going to do this, but I'm going to make my opponent flip the werewolf. I don't think I need the Sash in play right at the moment. So hopefully they, and this works out really well if they play something like a 3-drop. So now my werewolf's going to stay flipped unless they drew a 1-drop this turn. And we're just going to keep getting this snowballing card advantage, go to the late game. That's how this deck wins the mono white matchup. And now I even have Mystic Confluence up. There's the Wanderer. So I can play Lion Sash plus Wanderer on my opponent's turn, or I can keep up Mystic Confluence. I think I just want to be proactive now. I feel like I'm at a pretty big advantage. Maybe they can play they can't punish me too hard here for not keeping up Mystic Confluence. If they play a Planeswalker, I can force them to Negation it. This is kind of awkward though, because if they play their Lion Sash, I'm gonna want to eat this Adeline. Okay, they play Eater of Virtue. Don't think I'm too concerned about that card. So I can play the Wandering Emperor now in block, and then they'll just use Mother of Runes. So yeah, I don't really like that. This is kind of interesting. Maybe I want to keep the Wandering Emperor in hand and surprise the Mother of Runes. I think that kind of makes sense. I don't think I need to put it into play. Okay, I guess they're going to crack their clue instead of casting their Lion Sash, which is kind of weird. But now I get to eat the permanents out of the graveyards. Okay, they're not getting aggressive with their Mother of Runes, which, you know, they're behind by a good amount, so they might want to do that. And now I'll just hold up my counterspell. Could play Stoneforge, but it's probably just not doing very much on the battlefield. I might want to hold that and I'll discard it later when my werewolf flips again. Okay, Thalia. I don't really think I mind Thalia. And there's the Lion Sash. So now I can counter that. Or I can just do the Wandering Emperor thing. I don't really care about countering it is the thing. I mean, I kind of want to use my Mystic Confluence. Maybe I just use it to bounce some things here. The werewolf is definitely getting flipped back now. You get to use this Planeswalker as an instant. That's kind of cool. Only on the first turn, though. So now I can just get aggressive and just bounce some things with Mystic Confluence. Kind of like that. Okay, there goes my Echo of Aeons. And they want to leave their Mother of Runes. So I can exile that now with my Wandering Emperor, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I kind of just have lethal next turn. Let's see. Okay, we're not going to need Wrath of God. And now, I'm not expecting my opponent to have a Wrath of God, but I don't really think playing any of these cards. I should have played the Mox, because I know my opponent has Thalia, but okay. That worked. And we're playing against mono white, so Baneslayer Angel is good. Adversary is fine. Elesh Norn is probably better than Hullbreaker Horror. Echo of Aeons, this might be just like too cute, and it's also gonna get eaten by Lion Sash. And then maybe Intrepid Adversary can come in. I think I like the deck like this. This hand is pretty slow. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand's pretty weak, but we're just gonna keep anyways. I'll bottom the Windswept Heath. Both of the decks have Lion Sash in them, so it's kind of neutral. And I don't want to take 1 damage. Wow, okay. Very fast start. But yeah, if I'm able to draw one of my 5 drops, this Mana Vault's going to be really good. There's my 7 drop, so if I can make 3 more land drops, I can play that. So let's see if we get there before they play a Leonin Relic Warder or something of that fashion. Ingerback Walker. Okay, that's going to work against the Elesh Norn. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I guess I'm more likely to cast the Wandering Emperor, but it's like, I'm not sure if I want to burn that. Burn my Mana Vault here. See what happens. Foundry, okay. I think Elesh Norn is just so good that I'm just going to try to cast that. Okay. Yeah, I guess I am pretty forced to play that. Okay, and we've got Elesh Norn next turn. We'll see if they have Thalia or something to disrupt me. The second act of this card is kind of interesting too. It can put a land into play tapped. So it can ramp you, or it can put like a 2-mana creature into play as well. So it's kind of cool. Mana Tithe would be pretty rough too if I run this Elesh Norn into that. Haven't seen it from them so far. But even if they deal with the Mana Vault, I have a 4 and a 5 drop for the next 2 turns. Okay, there's Sword, which they will be able to use with their Hangerback Walker token. So what am I going to do about that? Actually, no, the token's going to die. Yeah, Elesh Norn is a persistent -2/-2. Okay. So I think this is going to be pretty good. This seems like a good opportunity to put this card into play tapped, which is what would happen anyways. All right. Let's put down Elesh Norn. I was pretty skeptical taking this card, but yeah, my opponent's had a pretty sketchy draw as well, missing some land drops, and yeah, this game has worked out pretty well for me. They are going to need to get a pretty big creature into play, or maybe just remove this Elesh Norn. Okay, Palace Jailer. That takes away the Elesh Norn, and now they are the Monarch. So now I have to get the Monarch back. And if I do, I think I get my Elesh Norn back. Even though the Palace Jailer's gone, I think that's how that works. I'm actually not positive about that. But I'm going to get my 3/4 Vigilance that creates a token here, and then, yeah, we'll just pass. So, can Mystic Confluence. I should be able to get Monarch here on the following turn. They do have Retrofitter Foundry, though. We can create a Servo. And then, okay, there's Thalia. I have 6 mana, so I'm not worried about Thalia. They equip Eater of Virtue, that is fine. They can make a Servo with this Foundry. But I can put the Wandering Emperor into play. I am at 10, dying to this Mana Vault slowly, but I should be okay. There's Narset, but I think I'm just going to attack with both and then I'll use the Mystic Confluence. I'm guessing that they'll activate the Retrofitter Foundry here and then they'll be able to hold Monarch. But now this happens and bounce both of their creatures to their hand. So now let's see if we get the Elesh Norn back. I honestly am not sure if I will. Okay, it does. Yeah, just the game state remembers that. It doesn't need the Palace Jailer. Okay, so now I have to decide on this Wandering Emperor, and I think I just make a Samurai. So now I have a huge board, and we'll see if they can, and I'm drawing an extra card. So let's see if they can remove Elesh Norn again. And next turn, I can't use Mystic Confluence if they have Thalia, but if somehow they don't have Thalia, then I do have the 7 mana. Okay. Nice. Here we are for round 2. We're on the draw, and this hand is pretty weak just because it does not have double blue, and it has these 2 expensive cards. And it also has Mystic and Lion Sash, so basically this Mystic is just a vanilla 1-2, so this is going to be a mulligan, even though that hand looks okay. Okay, this we're going to have to mulligan too. And pretty much going to keep any 5-card hand. So I'm not exactly sure what to do here. I think I want to get rid of Cathar Commando. Yeah, I guess just get rid of Commando and Sphinx, even though Sphinx is kind of like how we get back into this game, but this feels like the best hand to me. Okay, starting out with pretty low resources. I'm guessing they will take the Planeswalker. Okay, they took the Mox. Okay, we're up against an Ancestral Recall deck. Definitely not great. So yeah, we're pretty behind this game. But maybe if they are Reanimator, we can win with Fractured Identity. There's always a chance of that happening. Okay, looks like they might be Storm? Or no, they're probably just like Yawgmoth's Will for value. With like Ancestral and Thoughtseize, that's actually like a pretty good combo. Interesting deck. Interesting that they just -2'd right away. They did not go for the ultimate. Kind of surprising. Crypt Breaker. Okay, I mean, just gonna remand. Not the best target, but yeah, they do have the second swamp, so yeah, not a very, pretty much just a cycle there, but we'll take it. If we Fractured Identity their Liliana, we can destroy that Crypt Breaker. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, they're Reanimator. So the issue is, yeah, Iona is going to shut off the Fractured Identity. So let's see, they're going to call white. I can play my blue spells still. So next turn I can bounce it with Mystic Confluence. My opponent is at 9. Okay, there's Liliana. Okay, I think I'm gonna concede here. I don't think I have a real chance of winning the game. If I draw a land, then no, they just, yeah. I don't want to show them the Fractured Identity or the Mystic Confluence. I'll just concede. Okay, this is the game for Banishing Light. It takes out their Planeswalkers and some of their threats. Not the Iona, obviously. Hullbreaker Horror answers Iona, so I like that. And we have Lion Sash, so great card in the matchup. Let's take out Restoration of Eiganjo. It's pretty slow. I don't think it's that great. This hand looks fine. Usually Swords is good in this matchup, but yeah, we really want to avoid the Iona. Okay, opponent went to 6. Let's see if they found their Ancestral Recall. Okay, they took the Swords to Plowshares. But we have a sneaky Snapcaster Mage now. they don't know about. That's not bad. Let's see if we can flip here. That would be nice. Nope. Okay, Crypt Breaker. I guess I'm just gonna flip here. I'm not gonna... I'll let them have their discard outlet with their Crypt Breaker. What am I gonna discard here? This is fairly difficult. I think it might be the Confluence. I could see the Avacyn being good in this game. That was a tough decision. But I have plenty of disruption. I have these 2 counters in hand plus a Snapcaster, which can maybe be a third later. So I want to have a threat. I want to be able to close this game out or attack a Planeswalker. Okay, they found the Ancestral. That's going to be a worthy target here. Let's see if they can flip the Werewolf. That's going to be pretty big here if they can. Okay, we get to keep our Werewolf. So let's see what we draw. An island would be good. Okay, that will have to do. We'll take the Narset. And there's not much to do here. I have to pass with Force of Negation, and they're going to have a discard here. Let's see what it is. Okay, it is a creature that can be reanimated. So we'll see if they have the reanimation spell here. I don't necessarily have to counter it even. I could Banishing Light on my turn. But if this comes into play, they're going to draw a card. I'm going to have to sacrifice my Werewolf. Yeah, I mean, I probably have to counter it. Let's see. Okay, I can also Snapcaster Mage Swords to Plowshares, and then I can sacrifice the Snapcaster Mage. And then I would still have the Force of Negation in hand, but they would get to draw a card. If they don't have it, then I think I'm in a very good position here. Because now I have double blue. And I don't really understand why they didn't attack. So now I can just hardcast the Force of Negation. Now I feel much better. Okay, there's Hullbreaker Horror. So they are amassing this zombie army. But I should be able to beat that. Yeah, they have the second ability of Crypt Breaker online now. They can tap these 3 and draw a card and lose a life. So that's definitely not bad. That is what they're going to do. But if they don't play something here, I'm going to have Avacyn. And then I'll have 2 counterspells as backup. Grief. Okay. I guess I have to counter that. So we're playing a bit of a fair game here, which I'm definitely fine with. They have 2 cards left, but they're drawing 2 cards a turn now. And I just have the 1 counter spell. I'm getting close to this Narset because I'm about to go to 23 cards in library. Okay, yeah, same position. Actually, yeah, I can Banishing Light now, so that's got to be worth it. Yeah, I think I can afford to do this. I don't have the option to use Avacyn now, but now I'm taking them off their card draw engine. I feel like that's good. There might be some ways this could go wrong, like if they play a Planeswalker here. And no, I can force some negation to Planeswalker. Yeah, I feel pretty okay with this. Okay, I have to use the last of my counter spells. But they're down to 1 card in hand. And I still have my werewolf. Let's see if we can draw something relevant here. There's not too much more interaction left in my deck. There's my own Hullbreaker Horror. Okay. Yeah, and there's really nothing to do here. Yeah, I don't think they can get Iona into play from this set of cards they have right now. And I think I can probably beat anything else. We're at 6. Okay, let's throw down the horror. I think this makes sense. They can chump block with Creeping Tar Pit here to survive. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the best play ever. Let's see. They are going to get Shelldock online on their next turn. Okay, they have Spell Pierce. Okay, now they've tapped out of blue, so now I just have lethal. Alright, so we saw that they have Hullbreaker Horror and Archon and Spell Pierce and Duress. Their deck looks pretty good. Wow, bringing in Toxic Deluge could be nice tech. Like, they'll just call white on their Iona, and then I can just Toxic Deluge it. Dack Fayden has seemed kind of weak, I will say. But yeah, it's just really hard to cast this Toxic Deluge. It hurts the mana too much. I've got outs for the matchup. I've got Lion Sash. I've got the counters. We won that game with the counter spells, obviously, so let's see if we can do that again. Okay, we have Stoneforge, but we need the white source, so we can go get Lion Sash. I think this hand is fine enough. It might be a little too slow. It's definitely tough to be on the draw in this matchup. Grief. That gets any card? Yeah, okay. Wonder what they're going to take here. Okay, they put Hullbreaker Horror into my graveyard. So that's going to make their Living Death worse. Oh my gosh, okay. They have Reanimate. Yikes. Wow, I don't know if I can... Well, I need to draw into removal, basically. So... Oh, that was a great turn 1. And we draw the Lion Sash, which is not the worst draw. But yeah, that Hullbreaker Horror is just going to kill us so fast, and it's so good against Chrome Mox. Yeah, I'm probably just dead here. Because now if they kill my Chrome Mox, I can't cast Swords to Plowshares. That's the main way I can win, is just like draw Swords to Plowshares. So yeah, we're probably dead here. Not sure what I'm supposed to do. Maybe just hold the Chrome Mox in hand. Let's see if we get one shot at drawing it here. Wow, okay, yeah, we had Banishing Light. Okay. Okay. This is a start. I guess we had 2 outs there, and now, if I can remove this Banishing Light, I can get this Hullbreaker Horror onto the battlefield. I don't know if I have a way to remove it. Let's see. Okay, I guess they're gonna kill my Lion Sash here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Fractured Identity. Yeah, I will have to give myself the out to play that next turn if I draw an untapped land. I think that seems... They're going to draw a card. This Creeping Tark Pit can kill me fairly quickly. Yeah, this is a tough spot. They know about the Remand. I think I just want to discard the Remand. This is, yeah. Enters the battlefield tapped. 2 or fewer other lands. Yep, this is one of the awkward draw steps. Now I have to pass and discard the Seacrum Coast. They still do not have a creature in the graveyard. Let's see if they can draw a blue source, it'll be pretty good. Okay, Snapcaster Reanimate on Grief to take my Fractured Identity. That's going to be pretty good. Yeah. This is going to be a fast clock. They're at 8. Might have some decent draws here. Sphinx. Nope, that's not going to do it. Yeah, I don't have double white either, so I cannot Wrath of God. So I'm going to fall to 8 here, and then any creature I draw will die to Liliana. So I kind of need to draw removal for Grief. So I need a parlay of like 2 cards here. Will be pretty hard to do. Okay, now I can draw Wrath of God next turn. But I'm dead to a blue source here. They discarded an island. I wonder what's in their hand. They can just kill me with this Creeping Tar Pit. So yeah, I like my opponent's deck. Definitely one of the great archetypes. I'm going to go to 3 here. Even if I draw Wrath of God, I'm just going to be dead to that Tar Pit. Okay, good game. Here we are for the last round on the draw. Pretty awkward hand, but I will keep. If the Stowaway gets removed, or like we never draw into a Plains, then this hand's going to be pretty bad. But there's a lot of ways it could go right. I draw a red source, or I can draw a white source naturally, or just have the Stowaway survive. It's a good hand if we draw lands. We've got some disruption. Okay, nice. We drew the Plains. So I guess I'll just slow roll that. Don't let the opponent know that we have the Plains. Not too much risk in doing that, unless my opponent plays like Time Twister here or something. But yeah. If I was playing against a black deck, maybe I would not do that. Okay, I guess we're playing against another blue control deck. It's weird to see 2 islands and a stomping ground. Maybe they're playing Splinter Twin combo. Let's see if they have like Power 9 with the Spellseeker. Oh, they have Mana Drain. Okay. Got a lot of expensive cards in my hand. Maybe Dak looks kind of weak here. Let's get rid of Dak. Okay, now I've gotten this threat under the Mana Drain, and we'll see if they can like force us to make a play at some point. Okay, maybe red is the splash color, a blue-green deck. Oh my goodness. Channel, okay. Let's see if whatever this is can survive a Swords to Plowshares. I did not see this coming. Okay, I guess it's Big Emrakul. Wow. Channel Emrakul with Mana Drain backup. And they have Brain Freeze. Okay. Why are they playing Brain Freeze? Okay, they're playing Storm. Interesting. Okay, they're playing Blue-Green Storm. So they're probably going to have some ramp. Maybe be able to hardcast that Emrakul. I don't think I really have sideboard against them either. I think this hand's a little bit too awkward. I'll keep this hand. It's kind of awkward too, though. Yeah, and I don't know what to... I want to put an island back, but yeah, we're going to be at quite a card disadvantage in this game with the Chrome Mox. But if I put the Mox back, then I just have 3 islands and 3 white cards. Put the island back. Yeah, this is definitely not optimal. But I feel like this is the best I can do. I'll just exile the Avacyn. That card might not be coming down for quite a while. It might be the better threat than Fractured Identity. We'll see how good this Fractured Identity is in the matchup. There's a chance that they will play something that's not Emrakul, and I can steal that. That's one way I could win this game. Yeah, so Mana Vault will be a good draw. Wow, they have a great Spellseeker deck. They have Time Walk, Channel, and Mana Drain. That is pretty absurd. Yeah, Fractured Identity is usually not great in these sort of matchups because the blue-green deck, they kind of just play a bunch of lands, ramp themselves, and then they just kill you with Brain Freeze or something. They don't play like great permanents that often. So it may have been better to keep the Avacyn. But yeah, definitely not feeling great about this position. They just have so much time to set up, and I really have nothing going on. They're holding up Mana Drain. That is surprising. So the way they tapped here, it makes me think that they don't have Mana Drain. Honestly, very surprising that they did that. Now they let me make a 2/2. Okay, so we'll be able to cast one of our spells next turn. Let's see, I guess they're just building up to a storm turn. I'll just say no here. And I could play this Mox Ruby. There's not really much reason not to. And yeah, I'm just going to play the Sphinx and see if we can win with it. I don't think they had Mana Drain a couple turns ago. They obviously might have any number of other things. Okay, they have Daze. But I'll just pay for the Daze. And now they have something else? No, I don't know why they did that. Baleful Strix. Okay, they're playing a lot of colors. Channel, but they only have 11 life to use, so it's I might be able to Fractured Identity what they put into play here. Okay, Ulamog. I guess they're gonna take our 2 creatures, and they're gonna go to 3. And now I'm going to get my 3/4. So yeah, not too much to really do here. We're just gonna cast the Fractured Identity. Okay, that was good enough. Wow. Yeah, all right, let's go to game 3. I might want this Banishing Light because it deals with Ulamog. That card has Indestructible. Wrath of God deals with Emrakul. Pretty awkward. Even maybe this like Intrepid Adversary might be a good threat in this matchup. Is Dack Fayden good? Do they have artifacts? Yeah, Banishing Light takes out Emrakul too. I feel like this card might be good. And yeah, I'll just take out the Wrath of God for it. But am I going to put in this 3/1? I feel like it's decent, but I'll have to take out Dack. I don't think I saw any artifacts. Okay, let's just take out Dack. Just make the mana a little bit better. This hand looks okay. I can counter channel, and I can play a turn 1 Cathar Commando from my Mox Ruby. So yeah, I would say this hand is pretty good actually, and the opponent's on 6. And there's our second blue. So now eventually we'll be able to get this Hullbreaker Horror off of the Mana Vault. They're leading on an island in a swamp. They might not have the best mana this game. Still not sure like exactly what sort of stuff they're playing. But yeah, I'm happy if I can get my second island down before they do anything. Because now I have a ton of options. I can put Hullbreaker Horror down at the end of their turn and they cannot mana drain it. I wonder do they still get the mana from the mana drain? I actually don't know how that works. Okay, there's Dack, which is going to steal something, but yeah, I'll allow that. Because I have 4. I have Hullbreaker Horror. Yeah, this is fine. now I can just bounce that Mox Ruby to my hand. My opponent's at 13. So I can't kill them here, but let's see, I can play Island, Stoneforge, turn the Ruby. Okay, we got it. Nice. Hullbreaker Horror doing some work there. Kind of lucky to combo it with like the fast mana that our deck did not have a ton of, but yeah, that was a nice draft. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.